Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to take a look at XRP, but real quick, Bitcoin is coming up on a daily 9 soon. So right now we're on candle number 8, or I'm sorry, it's candle number 7. In about 3 hours, we're going to get candle number 8, and then following that, probably 24 hours, we're going to get candle number 9. So I say probably because we don't know if we're going to get the 9 because the count could flip. So if you don't know TD sequential, again, it's basically like an exhaustion indicator. It lets you know when the price is getting exhausted to the downside. For example, you could see here the green 1, green 2, green 3, green 4, green 5, but then look what happened. Bam, it got taken out. So now the count flipped from green to red. So now we have a red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4, and look what happened. This candle right here flipped it. So then it started again. A red 1, a red 2, red 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We got the 9. So the daily chart called the 9. It didn't call the exact bottom, right? Because the candle number 7 was. But nonetheless, it was in the vicinity of the low. And what happened was after we got the 9, you can see we had an impulse to the upside. So we had a green 1, we had a green 2 going above a green 1, a green 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, couldn't quite get to the 9. We pulled back, and now check this out. We have a green 1. We have a powerful trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can start to see it starting to wane a little bit. So hopefully we can get that 9. If we get an 8 in the next 3 hours, so in about 27 hours, or the time of recording this video, we should get a 9 sell. So you could see here, this was a 9 buy, and hopefully we can get a 9 sell, right? And then that would tell us the correction. So this is your buying, we come up, and it's your selling. So we don't know if it's a pullback and a continuation or a reversal. That you don't know. So, not using this indicator by itself. Again, I like to use it with the bull market support band. I like to use it with Elliott wave. I like to use it with other strategies as well. So basically, if you didn't catch yesterday's video, basically saying, look, this could be a flat ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or it could be a WXY, 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 right? Or I'm sorry, the whole thing would be WXY. And then we can test the bull market support band, and then maybe continue to break out, or we're just going to go into distribution short term, right? Which I'm fine with, because it would give the altcoins a chance to catch up, because remember, they're way down here. And we know that when Bitcoin runs up, which it did, and we know that when Bitcoin's above the bull market support band, which it is, and we know that if once it stalls out and it starts to chill out in consolidation while remaining above the bull market support band, that's usually the perfect environment for alts to catch up. So you could say, well, why aren't the alts catching up? Well, we have to establish a range. This could be a new breakout here. So we don't really know yet, right? But if I had to guess, like I've said before, it's probably some type of 3 drives to the high. So you have one high here, you have a second high here, and now you're probably getting that third high somewhere in here. It could go higher, or it could be finished now. Either way, somewhere in there. So you have 1, 2, 3. And if you put the RSI on, you can start to see the daily chart actually was good, because it took out some of that divergence. So you could see obviously, right? The price going up, but the RSI going down. But you could see the RSI broke out, or at least above this high, right? But we're still not above this high, and that's fine, right? So the higher time frames triumph the smaller time frames. So when you go down here a little bit, you can see, let me take all that off so we can see it. We could see a steady downtrend here, right? We can see, right, the RSI has not taken out this high, which is fine. So we do have the bearish divergence. It could be taken out, and the way that could happen here is the price, the RSI coming, we broke above the line, right? So we can come down, we can back test the line, or retest, right, and then continue higher. So if we get back up here, challenging these highs, then it obviously took out all the divergence. But typically, that usually doesn't happen. The reason why is because, again, using the TD sequential and then also using Elliott wave, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in that fifth wave. So even if it wants to break out into a new all-time high, you still need a correction. And the corrections are good because what happens in a correction is it let's say the price is up here, right? And then we have a little ABC, right? Maybe, hopefully, if we're lucky, we can get the bull market support band tested, ABC, right? And then as we're sort of dwindling down in a healthy correction, or even back testing this here, see all those red dots right there? That 9 cell created those red dots, right? Which is your setup resistance, which we broke above. So we could come back down and back test it, right? And as we're back testing it, what happens with the RSI? It starts to go down. Now we're back down here, which gives us plenty of room to gallop, right? Which gives us plenty of room to go back up. Because what does the RSI do? It goes down, it goes up. It goes down, it goes up, right? So the idea here is, if we do get down here, right, and let's say we do break out. So let me take all that off real quick. And this is important, and I'm going to talk about XRP, so don't go nowhere. But in order to understand XRP, it's very important to understand this first. So if we do get an ABC or a pullback, because I think we will. I mean, we shot up pretty strong. We got some divergence, so we need a pullback. Just a little one. Maybe we backtest this, or we backtest the bull market support band, right? Either way, or we're going to establish a range. When we do get that pullback, and we do come down here, if we break out and the RSI does not take, and the RSI does that, then that's still 1, 2, 3. That's triple bearish divergence. And then at that point, you can say that would be probably the 3 drives to the high. Or you can even get 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So the price is trying to get above that line, trying to get above the line, trying to get above the line. While the RSI is falling, typically that means it's being exhausted. It's exhausted and it needs to reset, or it needs to, a correction. So let me take the RSI off, take all that off. And I was mentioning yesterday this, if this is what I think it is, which is normally the phases, which is a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. It's usually how it goes. Then this whole thing should be an ABC, right? An A, B, and C. So A has 5 waves, which we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then B has 3 waves. A, B, C. And now C has 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe 5's not finished. Maybe we go up a little higher, right? So there you go. That's the ABC. So you could say, well, how do we know if this is an ABC? What if it's a 1, 2, 3, and now we're getting 4, then we get 5? That could very well be the case. That could very well be the case. But for now, it's giving me the impression of a 3-wave pullback because it's following, right? We had a bull market, we had a bear market, and now we're getting a 3-wave move, right? So that's typically a correction. So let's run the fibs here. If I run a Fibonacci extension from the A wave, from the bottom of the A wave all the way to the top of the A wave, I can put it here or here. I'm going to put it at the top of here. And then I'm going to put it down to the bottom of the B wave. And I'm going to run it across there. You can see, look at that. I didn't even really realize that until now. Look at that. We hit perfectly the 1.618. So that is a clear signal that, hey, this thing could be done. This thing could be finished. I mean, that's a perfect hit right there. So this is the price of Bitcoin right here. So basically, right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's your 5-wave move. Then you have an A. This whole thing is a wave A. This ABC is a B wave, right? And now we're getting C. But C can turn into sort of like an irregular flat, right? We come down here, and then we go sideways, and then we take off. And that's kind of how, things go. Now, obviously, C can come down here, right? And that would be sort of the more bearish idea. But for me, I'm thinking rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So that's sort of the idea here, right? Going back to yesterday, this is an A, B, C. And we hit the 1.618. So taking everything off the screen and going down to the 4-hour chart, zooming in on this, I also said we also did a Fibonacci extension right here from this A wave to the bottom of the A wave, to the top of the A wave, to the bottom of the B wave. You can see we didn't quite hit did we hit it? Let's see. Yeah, we almost hit it. We got really close to the 1.618. So to me, it looks like it's probably finished, right? Or at least for the time being, it needs to cool off. And this is what I'm talking about for the altcoins. If Bitcoin is finished, just for a little while, maybe like I said, maybe it comes down here. Here's the bull market support band. Maybe we come down here and we get another high, right? Either way, it's in distribution, potentially, right? So if that's the case, then that's what you want for the altcoins to start making their move. Because usually how it works is Bitcoin goes up first while the alts are flat. Then once Bitcoin chills out, that's when the alts catch up. Then as the alts catch up, Bitcoin, chilling out, it can, let's say it continues to move up, then the altcoins go flat again, but they're going flat up here now. Then once Bitcoin chills out again, that's when they catch up again. So you kind of see what I'm saying here. Now, if Bitcoin, let's take this off. If Bitcoin, for example, is going up, right? Altcoins are going flat, then they chill out, then altcoins catch up. Then Bitcoin wants to pull back further. That's when the alts would probably backtest their breakouts, right? Then as So for example, as Bitcoin pulls back, maybe back testing that 31K, then it gets a reaction, then you can get a bigger breakout in the alts to match what Bitcoin is doing, right? So I see a couple things that can happen. If, of course, if we're going to be bullish, right, we come down, or maybe we chill up here and we continue to march on up. But if that's the case, then we could see an extended fifth wave, right? Because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe this fifth wave that we're seeing here hasn't yet completed. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And that would be the fifth, A, B, C. And then we continue, it would be a bigger ABC, obviously, right? And then we would continue on up, because that would then be a fourth wave. The big thing is this an A, B, C, or is it a 1, 2, 3, and now we're in 4, and then we get 5? If we get 5, and we break this after we correct, and we break this top, we get 5, that tells me then we're probably have a really good chance at breaking out into a new all-time high. But until then, you have to treat it as if it's a retracement, because that was the big thing for me, going back all through here, was the retracement. Now we got the retracement. Now we want the altcoins to get the retracement. Once the altcoins get the retracement, then Bitcoin needs to decide, is it a fourth wave and we get a fifth wave? Or is this the beginnings of distribution, in which case we come down and we back test this 31K area, and we chill, then we go. So that would be a retrace, reaccumulation, sideways go. And now the reaccumulation can happen down here, it can happen down here, it can happen up here. It's very hard to say. Usually it'll happen somewhere in the middle, somewhere around 31K, right? So this is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing for alts, So let's see, what happens in the short term. Somebody asked in the comments to do a full macro complete of Bitcoin, right, for an Elliott wave. And there's a lot of different ways you can count it. So I guess the normal way would be, if you go back to the very beginning of Bitcoin. This is like macro right here. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That tells me, okay, Bitcoin's done. It's not going to hit another all-time high for a long time, right? So then you have an A, B, and a C, which gets us down to like 9, 10K. And then we start the new bull run, right? So something like that. That would be the idea here. Now, there is a scenario, right, where this is, again, the conservative primary idea here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. We get down here to 9K, then we go. A more realistic, I guess that would be the more realistic, but for an ABC to happen, this would need to be 5 waves, which it appears it is, right? But a lot of times you get a reaccumulation phase. So instead of this being an A, B, C, you would have something like this, right? So it's kind of a funky looking ABC, right? Something like that. And it's basically a lot bigger, right? So that would be that idea for the macro. The other option here, more bullishly, is that this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, And now we're in wave 5, but we're not finished yet, right? So counting wave 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Counting wave 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then counting wave 5, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're getting 5. That would be the ultimate bullish situation. And I would love that. That would be amazing, right? Now, some people say, no, we already have 5. Some people say, no, we're getting our 5th now, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the problem with that count is, look at the 5th wave. It doesn't appear to be really that good. It appears to be a correction, right? A 3-wave move. So something's telling me, hey, so basically this is the most important part about Bitcoin. This is it right here. And I never said this before, so it's very, very important. One side of the coin says this. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means we're getting an A, B, and a C. A big ABC, not just a regular bear market, a real bear market, because Bitcoin's never been in a bear market. Bitcoin's only been in an uptrend. It's never had a real bear market, right? So if this is an A, B, C right up here, then that means the 5th is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be, let me label it so we can visualize here. We have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be 5, right? And then this would obviously be an A, B, and a C. Now C, like I said, can stop, go sideways in a reaccumulation. But if this is a really finished 5th wave, then chances are you're going to get a big bear market, right? Because a lot of people say it has to be this bear market, it has to be this bear market. But no, that's not the case. Because if you have 5 waves, then now Bitcoin's going into a real bear market. So this bear market wasn't a bear market. It was just a correction. This bear market wasn't a bear market. It was just a correction. It was just a 4th wave. This is just the wave 2. Now we're getting a real correction, which is an ABC, right? So look how long this would be compared to how long this, look how short this is. Look how tiny that is, right? Look at this. If I take a line here, boom, right there. If I take a line here, that's all it is right there, boom. So if I take that same line, right, and I put it over here, look at that. It's done. It's done. So then this means we're kicking off a new bull run, right? But maybe it's just done with the A wave, and now we're in a B wave, then we're going to get a wave C, right? So that's the idea there for one side of the coin. Okay, the other side of the coin says this. Let me take everything off. And there's a couple different ones too, but the main 2 is this one right here. So we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and now we're getting 5 up here. And in the middle of that, we have a 1, 2, 3. All of this is 4, and now we're in 5. Now we're getting wave 5. And you can see, right? Remember, the only difference here is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it makes more sense given the fact that this 5th wave doesn't look that good. It only looks like a little 3-wave that barely broke the top. So I guess it's technically a 5th wave if you count it in 5. I mean, this is the weekly chart, but a lot of people say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, right? And I guess so, but it's so tiny, it's so small, it doesn't, it's kind of off, right? And it has a 3-wave shape. So if that's not a 5th wave, then what is it? Then it's an A, B, C. A, B, C. So let me take everything off again. So far I gave one idea. The second idea here is A, B, C. So it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're getting 5. So this was a 1, A, B, C. This is a, right, A, B, C, 2. This is 3, right, A, B, C. This is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're getting 5. So if we were to count 5, you could say that this is wave 1, this is wave 2. Now we're in the middle of wave 3. This is the big ultra bull. This could totally happen. So now we're in the middle of wave 3, 4, and 5. And in the middle of wave 3, you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be wave 1 of 3. Then you get wave 2 of 3. Then wave 3 of 3, right? Wave 3 of 3. Then you get wave 4 of 3, and then wave 5 of 3. Then you go into wave 4, then you go into wave 5. So it's a lot. It's still got a lot of, I'm not going to draw it all there, but it's a lot. So, yeah. I guess this is turning into the Bitcoin show again, right? But look at, if I look at Matic, if I look at Solana, if I look at Ethereum, if I look at XRP, XLM, Theta, it doesn't matter. What matters is what Bitcoin is going to do. And right now, Bitcoin is either in a retracement, which is good for alts, or it's going into a third wave, which is really good for alts, or it's already in its range and it's setting up the environment, which is also good for alts. Now, the only bad thing would be if we get a massive dump and it continues to go down, but it would only be short-term pain, right? So, again, just real fast. Idea number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Then a continuation, which means we have a lot more pain to go. So if you look at the size of this to the size of this, look how small this is compared to this, compared to that. This would be the real bear market. This count suggests that Bitcoin's never been in a bear market. It's only a correction. This whole thing is one wave. This thing is 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's not a bear market. That's not a bear. That's a correction. This is a bear market if we get it, right? Okay. Now that would align with the stock market, a financial reset, whatever happens, right? It could be that that's the case. Or the other side says, no, we're going into inflation and hyperinflation, so the price has to go up. That's another argument. Another one says, well, if we cut the rates, price is going to go up. Well, usually when people cut rates, that's when it signals the top of the market. So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2, just to reiterate, a recap here, because it's very important stuff. This is the macro of the macro of the macro. And I've never done this before, right? I've usually focused right here. But I'm focusing on the whole enchilada, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in 5. So 5's not finished yet. Why? Because we're in the 5th of the 5th, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in 5 of 5. So this whole thing is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're in the 5th of the 5th, which means we're going to continue marching up. And if we're in the 5th, because you have to understand, Elliott waves kind of complicated and complex because you have macro counts, then in between the macro count you have sub counts, and in between those sub counts you have other sub counts, right? It's like a Fibonacci, right? You zoom in and you have another 5 waves. You zoom out, right? So if again we're in the 5th of the 5th, then that means this was an ABC or a wave 4. And now we're in a 1, 2, we're in the middle of 3, 4, 5. So maybe if I put the Fibonacci on here, where could we top out at? I'm going to do it from this high because this was a B wave, if that was the count, and I'm going to put it down here. I would say the 1618 would be a good area, which would be about 88K, right? Up to the 26 would be about 133K. And if it really wanted to go completely bonkers, up to at about 200K. So I would say, be conservative, 88 to 200K, right? So if that's the case, we're in the middle of the third wave of the fifth wave, right? So again, just real quick, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the flat that we talked about. Look at the A, B, C. That's wave 4. Now we're getting wave 5. Okay? So that's wave 1 of 3. Then we get an A, B, C. Maybe we come all the way back down to 30K and backtest the breakout area, or better yet, the bull market support band, or both. Right? Obviously, if we hit the 30K, we would test the bull market support band. Then we go into the third of the third, which is going to be the biggest wave of them all, right? The third of the third. So that would be like 1, 2. That third wave can break us out into new all-time high. 4, 5, something like that. Let me declutter the screen a little bit. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that, right? And that would be 1, 2. All of this is 3 because the third wave has 5 waves, right? So all of this would be 3. So 3, and then you get 4, and then you get 5. And that would finish up the fifth of the fifth. So then that would be like this. It would be an extended fifth. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll see if that happens. That would be amazing if that happens. I never talked about that. I was kind of saving it until we get more of a clear direction. But since we're at retracement levels, it would be sort of fair to just, give that analysis. So there you go. There's 2 macro ideas. One, incredibly bearish for the time being, not forever, just for the time being. Because we're already 1/3 of we're already, I would say, 2/3 of the way there, right? So in other words, we're 66% done from the bear market. So for example, if this is 33%, this is 33%, and this would be 33%. So, we're 66% away, done from the bear market being over. So put it this way. If you picked the ultra bull bearish count for Bitcoin, it's still pretty bullish because we're already 66% done. Right? If it's not, then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at a crossroads right here. So I can already hear someone saying, yeah, great. So we're going to go up or down. That's true. We're going to go up or down. And, that's the big thing. Right? So now what I've always thought is this: rise, crash, retrace. We don't go down completely, but we go down a little bit, and then we go sideways, and then we break out, and that would sort of complete it, right? So it's really hard to know, So that's why we have to rule out what it's not, right? But we are at the retracement level, so it's very important that we get through these retracement levels. So hopefully that helps. Now let's go to XRP. Okay, so XRP, I kind of want to do 2 different videos for XR for this, because that was the the macro count for Bitcoin. So just a little teaser here. Look at the fractal, right? Look at where we are in here. I'm probably going to do this video next. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All of this down move correlates with this down move. We're like right there, if this is the case, right? So what do we have? We have Bitcoin at the retracement levels, and we have XRP at its level based on where the fractal is. So that's 2 points. That is very bullish. So that's the little teaser here for XRP. I'm going to wrap this video up now, and I'm going to do this video next. I'm going to continue recording, and I'm going to upload the XRP video next. I was going to do it all together, but when I record a video, I don't have a plan. I just go. I just open the chart and start talking. I don't have notes or like most professional YouTubers, they go down the bullet points of what they're going to do. I kind of just freestyle, so it could be a little chaotic and a little jumping around at times, but when you're talking for an hour straight with no notes and you're just freestyling, I'm just trying to explain the best way I can. So since I went off on the macro of Bitcoin, I kind of want to make that its own video. So hopefully you guys had watched the video. The XRP video will be next. If you're already here at the XRP video and you skipped ahead, definitely watch, because I never talked about this Bitcoin before. So this Bitcoin video that I just did, it was never before seen. Right? So this is the macro count on Bitcoin. So if you skipped ahead to watch XRP, definitely go back and watch the rest of the Bitcoin video, because you've heard my Bitcoin analysis, but you never heard this Bitcoin analysis because I've never covered the entire chart from 2011 all the way up to where we are now. Right. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to talk about XRP in the next video, because then it'll just be too long and I kind of want it in itself. So thank you guys. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully it gets some traction on the counts and things like that. But I'll talk about that in the next video. And remember, this is not financial advice. I could be totally dead wrong on everything I say. Always know that. But it has been good so far. So the track record's been good. No track record is ever perfect. But again, that's why, we're not trading, right? Going back and forth. We're analyzing probabilities. So I'll leave you at that. So don't forget, click subscribe and leave a comment and a like. I'd really, really appreciate that. Trying to grow a channel like mine is, picking it up off the ground is sort of challenging. But I'm going to keep doing it because I like explaining analysis, and hopefully people can benefit just like I had benefited from watching YouTube videos way back in the day, from going back in the stock market days and going back to the Bitcoin days, the early Bitcoin days. Watching charts helped me figure out different strategies, which ones I liked. So I think it's cool to pay it forward and do the same. But anyways, guys, I will catch you on the next video. XRP. Don't forget, I will be right there. Cheers.